Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is April 24th, 2024, and Barcelona have secured two new investors. Also, the club are planning to put Frenkie de Jong on the market come this summer. And finally, Vitor Roque's entourage is currently worried about the player's lack of minutes. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before we begin with the news, I do have a quick announcement because tomorrow I am leaving town. In fact, I am traveling to the city of Barcelona to go watch the Barcelona versus Valencia match. I will be taking my camera with me, so I will be making daily videos, but of course I won't be here in my studio, so I won't be able to edit or anything like that. So instead, I'm gonna be bringing you live videos every day, just like this one, but it won't be like the podcast where I get to address the comment section. Instead, it will be just a short 10-minute live video to give you the daily news so you can stay up to date in regards to FC Barcelona as I'm on vacation. Anyways, having said all that, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. Now, let's begin with the news because it's reported that Joan Laporta has been able to get two new investors, one from Dubai and another one from the USA. Now, if there's one thing that we cannot doubt about Joan Laporta is he is definitely a businessman. He knows how to do business. We've seen how good he's been with Barcelona's financial recovery, from getting new sponsors, getting new investors, putting the club back on track onto financial recovery. And well, now Joan Laporta has done it yet once again. Now, we know that Barcelona are very close to renewing their contract with Nike, where Nike will be paying Barcelona a 100 million euro signing bonus, which could solve Barcelona's entire financial fair play problems, because Barcelona do owe 100 million euros as far as their financial fair play, because the German investment fund Libero failed to pay those 40 million euros for Barca Studios back in December. They're going to most likely fail to pay the 60 million euros due this summer. So Barcelona are behind 100 million euros. And with Nike's signing bonus, it's expected that Barcelona will be back on track to the 1-to-1 rule. But just in case, Joan Laporta was working on a backup plan where he's been able to get two new investors, one from the US and one from Dubai, who are ready to invest into Barcelona. We don't know what kind of deals they are. We don't know if these are investors who will buy the portion of Barca Studios or Barca Vision that Libero failed to pay for. We don't know if these going to be new sponsors. We don't know exactly what the deal is, but we do know that there are two new investors ready to pump some cash into the club. Now, Joan Laporta is expected to meet with these new investors in the city of Barcelona. Representatives from these new investors will be traveling to the city of Barcelona to meet with the club to finalize the details of these new business deals. And once the details are finalized, we'll know more about who these investors are, what kind of investment deal they did, whether it's a sponsorship, whether it's the purchase of Barca Studios. We'll know more, so make sure to stay tuned to the channel. But the great news is that Barcelona are expected to make even more money. And if the 100 million euros from Nike end up resolving Barcelona's financial fair play, this money from the new investors will be an absolute surplus, which can then Barcelona use for new signings. But that is not all, because Barcelona, as I mentioned before, are a little bit short on their budget, given that there was lower attendance than usual at Montjuic. And as such, Barcelona were contemplating playing a friendly match in order to make up for that difference in the budget. And while Barcelona have confirmed that a friendly match will indeed be played at the end of the season, just like we did last season, where we ended the season, we traveled to Tokyo and played against Andres Iniesta's former team. Well, now Barcelona plan to do exactly the same at the end of the season, to travel somewhere else, play a friendly match in order to generate extra funds. Of course, Barcelona did that in the winter, right before the winter break, where they traveled to the U.S. and played against the Mexican side, Club America. And now Barcelona are planning a friendly match for the end of the season We don't know who against yet or where it's going to be played, but Barcelona are currently in the planning stages, and they're saying that could be either the US once again or maybe a Middle Eastern country, maybe Dubai, or I should say the United Arab Emirates, maybe Saudi Arabia, maybe Qatar. We don't know yet, but just know that there will be a friendly match at the end of the season in order to generate more funds. Now, speaking of generating funds, it's being reported that Barcelona will be placing Frenkie de Jong on the market come this summer. Now, the voices within the club who want to sell Frenkie are growing by the day. There are many people within the club who believe that Frenkie de Jong never lived up to the expectations that when Barcelona signed him, that Frenkie de Jong that we saw at Ajax, that Frenkie de Jong that destroyed Real Madrid in the Champions League, never really arrived in Barcelona. We saw some flashes of him here and there, but we never really saw Frenkie live up to those expectations that Barcelona had of him when they signed him. And as such, more and more are the voices within the club that want the club to put Frenkie de Jong on the summer transfer market. Now, by the way, what I'm telling you right now, that's what the club think. I said that last video, I think it was 2 days ago. People flipped out. They're like, how can you say that about Frenkie? That's not me saying that. I'm telling you what people within the club believe, which is that Frenkie has not lived up to the expectations. Now, once you add to the fact that Frenkie has the highest salary on the squad and he's been unwilling to reduce that salary, it's a salary that Barcelona simply cannot afford. That only adds more to the desire of putting him on the market. And finally, there is the fact that Barcelona are looking for a proper pivot, a proper center midfielder or defensive midfielder, whatever you want to call him. Barcelona are looking for a proper pivot, and of course, Frenkie de Jong is not that. So given all these factors, the fact that Frenkie de Jong never lived up to his expectations, the fact that his salary is incredibly high, the fact that he's not really a proper pivot, and Barcelona need a proper pivot, more and more are the voices within the club who want to place him on the market to make money off his transfer and then use that money to sign a proper pivot, someone like Subimendi or Kimmich that Xavi has been requesting. And now that Xavi will be staying, then we're most likely going to see that Barcelona will try to sign a pivot. Now, we'll see whether Frenkie de Jong leaves or not, because it's reported that the player has no intention of leaving Barcelona. He wants to stay in the city. He does not care about whether the club is going to try to push him or not. Of course, Barcelona did try to push him out. It was 2 seasons ago in the summer of 2022 when Alemany wanted him out. Frenkie de Jong stood his ground, and Barcelona ended up keeping him. Seems that the player might want to do the same this season, or at least that's what his entourage are currently leaking to the press. But of course, we are going to have to wait and see, because there were some reports saying earlier this half of the season that Frenkie was kind of disillusioned with Barcelona, where when he joined, he thought he was joining, a winning project where he's going to be winning Champions Leagues trophies. That hasn't happened. So maybe he'll agree to leave. We don't know, but just know that Barcelona are planning to put Frenkie on the market. We'll see whether the player agrees to that or not. Anyways, we'll end this video with the news that Vitor Roque's entourage are extremely worried about the player's lack of minutes, and they simply don't understand why Barcelona are not playing the Brazilian gem. Now, Barcelona brought Vitor Roque in the winter transfer market because Deco believed that Barcelona needed someone for the center forward position, since Lewandowski was going through a pretty bad phase. And as such, Deco accelerated the arrival of Vitor Roque, bringing him in the winter instead of this summer. Of course, Xavi did not agree with that move. Xavi wanted a pivot to be brought during the winter transfer market and was not too happy when Deco brought Vitor Roque. And now Vitor Roque has not been getting much playing time, and as such, his entourage are very worried, because they're thinking, then why did you bring Vitor Roque early? You could have kept him in Brazil. He could have been playing right now every 90 minutes of every single match like he already was with Atlético Paranaense, and then you could have brought him in the summer. But why bring him early in the winter when you're not going to be playing him? Now, Xavi's position is that Vitor Roque is still getting adapted, so that's why he does not want to rush the player into giving him more minutes. But the entourage had initially bought that excuse, but now they're saying that they are worried and that they think that maybe Xavi does not count on Vitor Roque at all, because there have been times when Xavi Hernandez has elected Mardiu over Vitor Roque, which kind of indicates to Vitor Roque's entourage that perhaps it's not a matter of adaptation, that maybe Xavi just simply does not count on him, and that's causing a lot of worries in Vitor Roque's camp. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. I will be uploading one more in a few minutes because there's lots of news today. I know we initially focused on the Xavi Hernandez news, but there was other news going on besides what happened with Xavi. So stay tuned because I will be uploading another video in a few more minutes. Anyways, thank you for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like. Also, make sure to drop a comment down below letting me know all your thoughts and opinions about everything that I share with you. And finally, please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current with all the FC Barcelona news. Anyways, I will see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.